Number 12, Raphael Assuncao, plus 230 underdog, man, against Ricky Simón. Minus 280 favorite, my man. And this is another one where you're just like, yo, these dudes are like OG veterans, man. These are dudes who are like, these were the guys, these were the names, and they're these big underdogs. But I can understand this one because Raphael Assuncao has had a rough couple of fights back to back, man. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, got knocked out by Marlon Moraes. He got submitted by Marlon Moraes. He got a unanimous decision loss against Corey Sandhagen. And then, of course, he gets knocked out by Cody Garbrandt, right? That was that Hail Mary, put your hand in your pocket and swing for the fences right there, man. Knockout loss in a fight where Raphael Assuncao was not doing bad, man. I mean, overall, it was a very close fight back and forth. But Ricky Simón, he's on a 3-fight win streak. Last one against Brian Kelleher, he got a win over Ray Borg. His last loss was against Rob Font, and prior to that, it was Uriah Faber. So those are also some very, very big names right there. Wrestler versus striker? Raphael Assuncao has great jiu-jitsu, but we know at this point he likes to get a lot of the work done on his feet with his hands. But the biggest thing that has been a problem for Raphael Assuncao in his long career, the man is a low-volume fighter, AJ, you know? And I think that's an easy way Ricky Simón could just win this fight, man. Wrestle, just rack up those little tiny strikes, man. Get a couple significant strikes in there and just win on points there. But we have to talk about the notable wins for Raphael Assuncao. Let's not forget, because this is a game of recency bias, right? Win over Aljamain Sterling, current bantamweight champion. Win over Marlon Moraes. I mean, not as impressive these days, but still, huge win, right? Win over Rob Font, win over Pedro Munoz, and win over TJ Dillashaw. So that's 2 champions right there, right? And then another just huge contender list right there. Those are all just notable wins, man, throughout his career. So we can't decide a fight or match a fight or decide the winner of a fight based off of this is what you did 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. We can only talk about what they've done recently. And in this recency bias, AJ, you have to think Ricky Simón has the edge here. Am I right?
Yeah, I can see why he's a 280 favorite in Ricky Simón. Just because, man, Raphael Assuncao isn't the name he used to carry, man. He used to carry so much weight. You'd hear Assuncao and you're like, damn, this is going to be fighting again. I agree. Like, his hands are looking impressive. And I actually like how you said he's a slow output fighter. He is. You know, he's a little slow. He'll march you down. He'll walk you down. But I like how methodical and measured he is. He's really reading a lot. It got him into some trouble with the Garbrandt because the 1 second he didn't stay with that measured, he overextended and got clipped pretty dirty too. It didn't end very well for him. But this dude is very powerful. He's willing to sit down on his shots instead of evade. He's one of those ones where he sees a hook coming, he sees a cross coming, he'll duck under and just switch to the other side. Instead of actually moving out of the way and retreating, he'll just literally get out of the way of the boulder and then turn right back around, still keeping his foot in that tire. Switches up his stance very often. And it has a powerful chin for the most part until he gets caught with an absolute bomb from the shoestrings. So it's going to be hard to say. I think Ricky Simón's best way to go about it is with that pressure wrestling.
Yeah.
If you can get that pressure wrestling going, it's kind of hard to vote against him in this one, in my opinion.
I don't know if you have your notes in front of you, and if you do, just don't look at them real fast. Take a guess for me real quick, a quick estimation. If you had to guess how many takedowns per 15 minutes Ricky Simón averages, would you go above or below 3?
Above.
Would you go above or below 5?
Below.
Okay, well, you're wrong, sir. Almost 7. 6.93 takedowns per 15 minutes for Ricky Simón. Talk about relentless wrestling. I said Gamro was a relentless wrestler. Ricky Simón is the definition of pressure wrestler. Excuse me, folks, learn my words. Definition of just beast, stay on you, man, like white on rice. And that's the thing that wins him fights, man. So believe it or not, Ricky Simón, he has a controversial, but he does have a win over the machine, Merab Dvalishvili. Let's not forget that right there. Notable wins for Ricky Simón. Ronnie Yahya, right? Montel Jackson, that's a beast of a man. Merab Dvalishvili, Brian Kelleher, Ray Borg. Both of these dudes got wins over, not both of them, yeah, but he has a win over Ray Borg. Listen, man, this is a dude who gets the job done. Ricky Simón at bantamweight is a dangerous man. At featherweight, he's probably even more of a dangerous man because he's not dehydrated, you know. That fool's looking thick, juicy, all that good stuff. But in this fight, keeping it on the floor is probably going to be his best bet. And because he has that pressure wrestling style, I do think that he'll be able to stay safe from the submission attempts of a Raphael Assuncao. It's all about staying in that half guard, ground and pound, because that's where he gets a lot of his active work done, in that ground and pound, in those clinches. But for Raphael Assuncao, would you agree that his right cross is a ticking time bomb ready to explode? Like, if he lands that flush right cross, you're probably going to go to sleep. Even though the man only has 4 knockouts and 27 career victories, I think his striking is massively underrated. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. Massively underrated. And I think the only reason he doesn't land that right hand more often is because everybody knows how powerful that thing
Yeah.
is, man. He keeps it there as a piston. And if it hits you, you know. You can literally see it's one of those Kamaru Usman, Masvidal,
Yeah.
where it turns your head the entire other way around. Everybody knows Assunção has that kind of power, man.
69-inch reach for Ricky Simón, 3-inch reach advantage because Assuncaao has a 66-inch reach. Do you think that that's going to play a big factor here? Ricky Simón, because he's a wrestler, he likes to utilize that left hook, right cross combo. And the reason why they're going to do that, right? Left hook, right cross, transition to a double leg, right? It's all right there in the money. Combinations, mix it up, right? Do you think that's going to play a factor here in this matchup?
I think so, especially because Ricky Simon's going to want to keep Assunção away from that power until he's willing to get underneath and shoot that shot, man. Ricky Simón has kind of almost the perfect game plan going against Assunção. My question is, Derek, do we see an upset where Assunção actually hits a submission? His ground game is very talented. He just doesn't like to use it or hasn't used it, at least recently anyway. Do you think it's possible for the submission to come from Assunção, or are we just going to see a pressure wrestler grinding it out on top?
Brother, I think it's 1,000% possible for Assuncaao to pull up a submission. That's not even a question. I think that Ricky Simon's wrestling, though, is so good, he's going to be able to kind of stave off that submission, the submission game of Assuncaao. Here's the thing, man. When you get put into a half guard and your back is against the cage and you have no room to move your hips or hip escape or do any of that stuff, tough to throw up anything, you know what I mean? It's tough to submit somebody when, it's a close, it's like you're on top control and it's a closed guard situation. It's tough to submit somebody unless you can retain your guard and then you can get those hips moving, throw up an armbar, triangle, omoplata, whatever you need to throw up. I just think that the best type of submission attempt is going to come from Assuncaao in a scramble. I think that's his best shot. I think when Ricky Simón is pressuring on top of you, if all these other dudes couldn't do it to him, what's going to make Assuncaao do it to him? If Ricky Simón was able to just smash Ronnie Yaya and win that way, what's really the difference in this fight other than Assuncaao has a big right hand and a little bit better striking? Do you feel me when I'm saying those are two very comparable fights?
Yeah. I mean, really, pretty comparable. I would say Assuncao's striking is a little bit better than Ronnie Yaya's, but yeah.
But in terms
peaches on that one.
In terms of submissions, exactly. In terms of Go ahead.
In terms of the submissions, 100%. I agree with you totally on that one.
Yeah.
Very comparable, very close. Maybe we might see one early round, but I think Ricky Simón has this one going, man.
Yeah, man. So don't count out Assuncaao. This is not like, Ricky Simón just a lock to win, because I think Assuncaao is I think it's too big of an underdog line here. Plus 230 is pretty massive for RAPHAEL Assuncaao. The only thing that could make me think that the odds makers are like, yeah, this man's done is 3 straight losses, and then you get knocked out and you're 39 years old. Ricky Simón is a fresh 29 in the prime of his career, hungry dog. I think that's why the line is this way. However, don't count out RAPHAEL Assuncaao, but I do feel confident in Ricky Simón. So I'm going to go Ricky Simón, decision victory. He's going to wrestle fuck him to death, you know what I mean? It happens. It's the name of the game sometimes, and when you're as skilled of a wrestler as Ricky Simón, why would you not? That's really the question. Like, why would you not utilize that game plan? So, Ricky Simón, UD, the over and under is 2.5, so I'm going over on that one. What is your pick? Over, under, all that good stuff, AJ?
I agree with you, Derek. You cannot count out RAPHAEL Assuncaao on this one. I almost went with the Fountain of Youth, man. I think, it can happen. We've seen it happen a lot before. But to be honest, I think Ricky Simón just has the style to get it done, man. He's a grinder. He's gonna put that pressure wrestling to work. Even though I would say Assuncaao has a little bit of advantage on the feet, I just don't think he's going to be able to get to use it going forward. I'm going Ricky Simón, and I'm going with the over. I'm going by decision. Nice. I think this one's going to be a grinder. Deep waters we're going to see. I'm going with Simón by decision, man.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing is that it's like sometimes it's like these are one of those where I'm like, damn, live dog and Assuncaao, but it's 15 minutes, and what are the odds of someone keeping it on their feet for 15 minutes as opposed to someone just getting them on their back? And regardless, because we saw it in the Jordan Levitt fight against Puelles, right? You could play jiu-jitsu all day long. That's not going to win you a round, though. Because the judges are looking at it like, you were on bottom the whole round, so you lose. Doesn't matter how many submission attempts you throw up, how many transitions, how many beautiful hip escapes, retain your guard. It doesn't matter. So, unfortunately, I wish the rules were different, but that's the rules, and I think Ricky Simón ended up victorious in this one.